Hi guys, Elaine here, the Animal Reiki Lady. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. So nice to see you here. We are doing our next little session. We're going to have a reading today for Lucy, not my Lucy. Most of you know the story of my Lucy, who crossed back in August of 2020. She was the inspiration for this channel and for all that I do with animals, actually. But for those of you who may not know me, if we're just being introduced for the very first time, my name is Elaine. I'm an animal Reiki master, and I help people create really deep personal healing connections with the animals in their life, whether that's animals that are here with you right now or animals that have crossed to the other side. And I try to share beautiful messages from all the animals on the other side, and also to help people manage and work through some of the grief and guilt and heavy feelings that come when our animals cross to the other side. And so we're going to start today. Today is going to be how to get a sign from your animal on the other side. If you watched yesterday's video, you know we talked about angels, and that I firmly, genuinely believe that angels come to us through our animal companions, that we all have angels here to support, guide, and help us, and that they come into our life in a physical way through the pets that we bring into our home. And I use the word pets very loosely. I truly mean animal companions. And one of the ways that they try to get through to us, that they try to get our attention after they cross back to the other side, is by sending us signs. So I do meditation, and I would love if everybody in the whole wide world would learn how to meditate and create a meditation practice for themselves. But I know that many people won't. And that's why I want to help you learn how, if you cannot go into a meditation. So it's like a form of, I'll use telepathy. I know that's a weird word for people sometimes, telepathic communication. But I truly believe that heart-to-heart communication that I receive from animals on the other side, I receive through meditation. But they still try to connect with you. Even if you don't go into a meditation, our animals will try to use every way possible to get through to us. So they want to get through to us. So I'm just going to give you, I wrote down some notes as always, right? You guys know I do automatic writing. So some of the things that they may do in order to get your attention, but you have to be aware. That's probably the most important thing, is to be aware. Keep your eye out for a sign. When I work with people whose pets are about to cross, I work with people with pets at end of life. I always tell them to look for a sign right away, immediately. Look for a sign that their animals crossed, because they want to let you know that they're safe. They're always safe. That question comes up all the time. Your animals are always safe. They always make it across, for whatever that means. They're not ever trapped. They're not ever stuck. They're not ever still in pain. They don't hold grudges, all of those. You can go back and catch 100 of my videos. Have I done 100? I think so. And get that same kind of message, that our animals, that's why I believe they're angels, because they ascend. They don't just cross to the other side. They ascend back into their beautiful heavenly self, that beautiful energetic space of pure positive love. And there is nothing, they don't take any of that pain and there's no such thing as trauma either. But anyway, I'm getting off the topic. So they want to connect with you. They want to let you know that everything is fine, that they are still with you, that they want to support you, that they are here to still guide and help, even though they're not in the physical anymore. Their energy is still with us, and they want to keep a relationship with us. They want their relationship to continue. So here are just some signs. Oh, excuse me, where's my water? Just a sec. That was fast. I just had to grab a water. So some of the signs that they want, that they send, it can be so much more than this. These are just the ones that came to my mind right away. Sometimes it's repeating numbers. We even call those angel numbers: 111, 222, 1111, 1212, 444 is like the master angel number. So it might be repeating numbers that you start to see. And I'll tell you what they mean in just a second. You might see unusual birds or birds of prey. You might see butterflies or dragonflies, especially in an unusual circumstance, or many of them. So you'll see butterflies or dragonflies. Feathers, that's a big one. I love this. there's an angel guy um, who teaches about how to make connections with actual angelic presences. Anyway, he says that feathers are the like the calling card, the business card for angels, and they come in all forms. Doesn't have to be just white feathers. It can be any feathers. Yesterday, as I was walking down the street, I found the beautiful feather of what I think is a hawk, striped, real big, real tall feather that was striped, and I accepted it as a gift from an angel. Feathers, it can be rainbows, it can be smells, it can be sounds like a song, or I always use the example of my Jack. So Jack gave me two signs right away after he crossed. The first sign was, and this is not just for animals who have crossed. At any time, you can ask your animal for a sign. But I will give the example of when Jack crossed. The sign I received was the sound of him drinking from the toilet. He was a toilet drinker. And the morning after he crossed, I heard that sound. And then the other one that I don't share too often, but is amusing, towards the end of his life, he was old. He had lost a little bit of control of his bladder. And as soon as we would get outside, his bladder would release, and not just in a puddle. It created a little string. And my neighbors hilariously would call it urban art, like it was street art. And it made this little trail right down the sidewalk. And as far as I know, he was the only dog who did that. But you always knew where Jack was when you took him outside. Well, the day after he crossed, I went outside and there was street art right down the sidewalk. And it had to obviously be another dog, but that was his message to me. Why else would I see that the day after he crossed? So those are the kinds of signs you want to look for. What else? Getting goosebumps when you are just covered with from head to toe in those little goosebumps. Wind that comes out of nowhere, a strong breeze, a chilling breeze. Let's see what else. Well, I felt this. I don't know if some of you have reported to me that you have feeling your animal actually on the bed with you. And then what else did I have? I think that was it. Flowers, wind out of nowhere, butterflies, birds. So it can be anything like that, but you have to be open to receive. There's also a saying that says, your pet is, I'm replacing the word angel with pet. And I'm sorry, I don't know who made this quote. It wasn't me. Your pet is as loud as your willingness to hear. So be ready and open to receive signs. So how do you get these signs? I have a little suggestion for you. The first thing is, question comes up, how do I know it's a sign? Like, what if I see this feather and I'm like, oh, is this a sign? Well, guess what? If you ask yourself that question, it's a sign. When you see something that immediately catches your attention and you go, I wonder if that's a sign, that's a sign. And then the other thing is, what do you do with it? So I have been equally guilty of this, and there's nothing really wrong with it. But I'd be out and I'd see like the most beautiful bird. I grab my phone, and the first thing I want to do is take a picture of the bird. Instead, what I should be doing is focusing on the sign, because the sign is not just a sign to say, hello, I'm here. The sign is that they are ready to reveal to you some piece of information. They want you to know something, whether even if it's just about their love, or that they're present, or that they're still there for you, but it could go much deeper than that. They want you to know something. So when you see the sign, I don't care if you're in the middle of the grocery store, I would stop, and you don't necessarily have to close your eyes in the middle of the grocery store, and definitely don't do it if you're driving. I would stop at the first convenient moment and sit down quietly and ask, what is it you'd like me to know? What is it I'm meant to receive? What message is being revealed to me? And then write it down and trust it. This is not make-believe. This is what the spiritual world is all about. We are taught as children that it's just our imagination. I could share so much about imagination with a capital I, and how imagination is an expression of God and the angels and the other elements of our life that beyond our five senses. But anyway, again, I'm off track. Sorry about that, guys. You can always tell when I get excited about something. All right, so if you think it's a sign, it is. You are, when you see that sign and you sit down to quietly ask the question, it's when that veil is thinnest. This dense 3D earth that we're on compared to the spiritual world that's outside of that, the veil is the thinnest when we can quiet our mind and actually listen. Because at that moment when we've asked and our animal's getting through to us, our angel is getting through to us, we can hear the message. All right, so what do you do? How to get a sign. Not on the note card. All right. How to get a sign is to ask for the sign. I will use the words I used in yesterday's video that I learned also from, yes, I took a course in angels. There is such a thing for if anybody else geeks out on spirituality like I do. So I took this little course on how to connect with angels, and only my download was all about animals, regardless. What you would do is place your hand on your heart and you simply ask. So I love to say, my angel, my angel, my angel. And I think of my Winston or my Lucy or my Jack or my Jake, all of the animals who have been part of my life and have crossed to the other side. My angel, my angel. And I bring them into my heart. And then I say, thank you. Just thank you for reminding me that you're with me. And thank you for sharing with me whatever it is you'd like me to know. Thank you for helping and guiding. And I love to start with the help, like with saying thank you for helping me, because we don't want to be that needy friend, right? We don't want to be the needy person who's always begging for help. We want to just thank them for reminding us that they're still with us, and then ask them to send you a sign. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. And then be open to receive. As you go about your day, wherever you may happen to be, look for the sign. You may see it on a license plate. You may see it on a bumper sticker. You may see it on a billboard. You may see it on the light rail. You may, wherever. It can be anywhere. Out in nature is a beautiful place to find your signs, but be open to receive. And then as soon as you see it, as soon as you see that sign, thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that reminder. What is it you'd like me to know? And then write it down, because you'll doubt it. Your little ego mind is going to hop in and say, nope, you made that up. And I want to tell you, no, you're going to write it down and leave it be, go back in a week or so and read it and know in your heart the message that was meant to come through for you. So that's how you get a sign. And it does mean letting go of doubt, letting go of fear. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge them. Don't think that people are going to think you're weird, because you don't have to tell a soul. I'm the only one who blabs this out. You don't have to tell a soul. Trust what you receive and know that it's real, and you'll receive that sign. Sometimes grief gets in the way. Sometimes guilt gets in the way. Let the tears flow. We have tears for a reason. Let your eyes clean. Let them be cleaned out by tears. Cry. But let go of the guilt, let go of the remorse. Know that your animal companion is in a wonderful, beautiful space, in such a space of pure, positive love that they can continue to help you live the most beautiful, amazing life. And that's my message for today. All right, guys, we'll see what comes up tomorrow. In the meantime, until I see you next, thank you for joining me. May the animals light your way. Take care.